Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here, Peterson Electric. Haven't done a video in a while. It is almost July of 2020. COVID is supposedly on the low keel right now after 4.5 months or whatever. This video is going to be about kitchen renovation. It's kind of like it's about a turn of the century 2002, 2000 so home. It already has a ranch style, kind of an open concept already, but they're redoing the kitchen and the fireplace wall and took down a pony wall. I do have some 1980s and 90s that take down like two walls and make the kitchen more open. And I always get this phone call. So for my SEO, it's going to be labeled inside remodel, maybe a Pinterest look. Open concept is probably the best thing for him to label it. But I always get this phone call that, oh, I just moved a couple walls, nothing big. It's just real simple. I could do it myself. It's just kind of easy. Those phone calls I sometimes typically avoid because if they could do it, then why are they calling us? But after doing 22 years of electrical and on my own doing a ton of residential the last 15 years, there's no such thing as the word just, meaning simple and cheap. I think that's what they wanted to hear, but that's not what it is. Let me show you real quickly, kind of like one of my biggest irritations about just come over and take a quick look and then wires are hanging everywhere. This actually will show you that to code, I'm touching 7 circuits, unless the city would make me actually look at 3 more circuits that could be affected, especially because I'm going to change out plugs and switches that are going to be more decor type. It might actually turn into 10 to 11 circuits just in a simple small area. So here, it's not a large home, but here is I would call this the office. My wife was right, it was a dining. Here's the entry, hallway to the master, and the bedroom, second and third, finished basement. Below here, mechanical. Over there, luckily a crawl space and kitchen that I never get because it's always finished. This right here is living. This, when I showed up today, this was actually just an island. That is supposedly a nook, pretty small. Peninsula counter. Again, remember, an island, it shows you in the wood mark, it's an island. Kind of like an island hot tub or an island area of power getting to it. This is a peninsula, so it's attached, kind of like Florida attached to the United States, if that makes sense. This was the kitchen, sink, range, microwave, counter. You can kind of see the layout there, fridge. Everything in the kitchen is staying the same except for putting the sink here now. So we have to drop down below. So if you could imagine this area finished in a basement, we're cutting up your ceiling to move the dishwasher and disposal because they're not putting a pony wall here for me to get through and cut open that drywall. So I got to take it down and come back up and splice it below and the island. So the switch leads on this were right here for those 2 cans. And then now I'm coming over to add a can here. The switch leg for these can lights is over here for whatever reason. And then it's a single switch leg over here that does that can, which no longer will be over the sink. So they want me to daisy chain this off, cut off that wire here on both sides. Then I'm going to Pico it with a 3-way wireless from here to there for these lights here for her. Probably do a pressure switch here for the disposal. Added an outlet up here for a little Nook coffee bar that'll be permanent. I already found an issue with that. That dumb electrician 20 years ago decided that 9, 9, 9, and 9, circuit 9, yeah, I added that, not a big deal, it's a 20 amp circuit, and 9 over to here for the fridge, which I would say that's fine for Nook and fridge, right? Because I have 12A over here for my outlets that are going 1, 2, and 3. Code says now 1 outlet on an island based on cubic volume in 2020 code, but I typically do 2, plus the one right here on this flat wall. I do 3 on that island. But then the circuit over here on 11B is 1, 2, 3, 4. So she on this has all the same circuit on this complete countertop, and it's separate over there. So if she's gonna crock pot, she's got to put a crock pot over there and blend over here, or vice versa, but not at the same time. You don't. And then this right here at the gas range and microwave, at least that's dedicated. That's good, because that tells me the year 2000. And then over here we took out a dining fixture and I just put a can in. And then I'm adding another can there. And then I'm changing all the trims out to a nicer Helco LED. And then I'm putting a ceiling fan over there that goes to that. That was a fireplace wall. And then they want me to add these, bring these outlets up because they're gonna have a counter all the way across, and then stub out a TV outlet and make sure this over here still does the fireplace. And these are separate because this is a class 2 wiring low voltage. 2 separate 2-gang plates. You have to, unless you have a 2-gang box with a divider. So if you look at this area, maybe it's about 900 square foot. We're not touching any of that over there. But look at my map. I've been on this job for 4 hours. I finally traced everything out, understood the layout. I showed up at literally 7 a.m. I knew nothing of the job. And the GC guy laid me out, but he's like, hey, this is what we're doing. Okay? And they don't want to do a permit. Great. But his gas guy is getting a permit to move a gas line 2 foot. Which, by the way, down below, he'll be cutting up the basement because I believe that's unfinished. Or no, finished right there. So I'm gonna draw a map and I'm gonna show him. Like, I traced everything out, made a map within an hour, but tracing it took 2 hours and 2 people. And we're adding new, switching that up. So do you see how easily one circuit from the green goes to the purple? I'm gonna do wireless Pico across. But 9, look how 9 travels, like I told you guys. Like some idiot electrician decided to put those 5 outlets to be with the fridge in the nook. I don't think he understood that in the code. That could not really be considered a dining. If it was, they'd run a separate circuit, you idiot. But he didn't. So the minute she puts a coffee machine over here with the fridge kicking on, and then anything in the office over here, whatever they decide to do over there, that's gonna blow the circuit. So 12A is the one we're doing the island. And then the purple one, right, or the outskirt one, 11B, we're not touching. The range we're not touching, circuit 1 and 3. And 11A for microwave we're not touching, thank God. Washer I'm not touching. Dryer I'm not touching. But if you look at all the highlighted items, I'm adding on new. Oh, and I forgot to do the ceiling fan there. That's probably going to come off of 13 or 20A. Actually, that's going to be... Yeah, that's 20B. I messed that up. So if I fix that, and that's actually 20B, because I just traced that last second before I did this video. I've actually messing with 8 circuits now, because I'll probably have the ceiling fan, add that switch to here, which then that goes downstairs to the basement. But that's going to be the easiest for me to fish 20B through here to put in a 2-gang box to control the ceiling fan. So I've touched now 8 circuits. Let's go look at the panel. This is exactly why some of these jobs I don't take, because they'll